So we're scooping up more gold on the diaphragm, thoracic equals diagram, and it is all very divine for God's personal names. Now I'm doing, the word diaphragm means partition, so I'm doing a search for 77 Christ in partition, and sure enough it's there, right in a cluster in the center, plus your bonus 45. So partition parallels Christ, which equals diaphragm. It's so awesome preaching on every word now. It's very easy. Like the word skeletal goes to father, just like muscle. Okay, skeletal, muscle, father, father. The diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity, also known as the Christ cavity, containing the heart and lungs, from the abdominal cavity. Abdominal is, this is so cool. Abdominal is Jesus minus 3, thoracic is Jesus plus 3, which equals Christ. Okay, thoracic is on top of the abdominal, Jesus is in the center. It's like, you know, the Spirit of God has to live somewhere, and, you know, he lives right in here in the belly. Okay, is the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is the primary muscle by which air moves in and out of your lungs day and night. So a pretty important word that equals Christ, equals power, equals glory. Let's see how powerful you feel when you can't breathe. Oh yeah, you'll feel really powerful when you can't breathe. Diaphragm equals power. And then thoracic diaphragm equals power, power. It's amazing how, you know, mouth equals the same thing. Like the mouth would be like the top of this whole air in and out structure. Diaphragm is at the bottom. Mouth equals diaphragm equals Christ equals power. And the diaphragm is also used in speaking and in singing, you know, and in really belting out words like opera singers. And oh man, so cool. So yeah, I see the word mouth. The 5 letters in mouth are identical, slot for slot, with the word power. And mouth equals power. And we built power perfectly from the letters in diaphragm. Okay? Very important. Very important. The word lungs. When you say the lungs, that is flawless for father. Plus 2s exceed plus 1s by 2 in number. The lungs contains a symmetrical father. The lungs equals father plus son. Okay, big gem. The lungs equals father plus son. Overall it goes to father, the topmost member. The lungs equals father plus son, and the symmetrical father that you find in that is a very common symmetrical father. It's the famous sent. S-E-N-T. Jesus said, "He who sent me is true." And then, amazingly, the letters left over that equals son are flawless to parallel son. G parallels S by 12, H parallels N by 6, U parallels O by 6, L is double 6. It's in order backwards, okay? The lungs is flawlessly father plus son, okay? Very tidy indeed. And then the word lungs, plain and simple, is father plus 15. Just like the word crown, just like so many famous words, just like the word number that go to father, orgasm, same thing, father, 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 okay? Very easy, lungs, father. You know, air, father. We solved the word oxygen for father the other day. It was screaming it out. Father, the 2 half fathers in the bookends, and then half father plus 3 at the center. It's like a real escalation in the word oxygen. So many famous words that relate to the lungs and breathing all go to father, like the word air, oxygen. It would behoove us to. I have to revisit. You can piece apart carbon dioxide and all the rest of them. The diaphragm. The power. And then I would like to solve, yeah, we can solve more parts in respiration, the respiratory system. Aha, a good diagram. Ooh, now I want to compare the word diagram to the word diaphragm. Diaphragm. Yep, they parallel each other perfectly. They both parallel Christ. Diaphragm and diaphragm. There you go. Of course, the word diaphragm contains the word diagram. All right. A diagram of the diaphragm, if you please. Okay. So, okay. This is you breathing. So this is important verbiage. Now remember, we solved respiration the other day. It's the exact same. Respiration equals inspiration. Okay. Where you have Father at the front, Father at the back, and center Father at the dead center of the word inspiration and respiration. Okay, so we're in a hot spot for the Father when we do anatomy of the respiratory system. Focus. The word focus goes to Father. Incidentally, if you want help focusing, drink cocoa powder. Okay, this is a student scholar tip. Cocoa powder with pure water, no sugar added. Drink this stuff as much as you can. Cocoa gives you focus. Mathematically, the word cocoa is identical with the word focus. I might have to refresh, get some more going on that. Okay, so this is a worthy diagram for us to solve, the respiratory system. Okay, at the very bottom, we did diaphragm already. Okay. The trachea is a huge word. The trachea goes to Christ, just like diaphragm. Trachea equals the I am. Trachea is glaring for Christ. C-H-R. We already talked about that. I would like to see what happens. We're seeing it right now when you shove the in front. Okay, so there. Now you get Father. When you say the trachea, now you scream out Father in the center of all that. Aha. You get the T-R-A. You share. Yeah, that is glaring. Okay. So look at the letters, the trachea. The 6 letters at the dead center are basically identical to the 6 letters in Father, except the C replaced the F. The C went down 3 points from an F, perfect offset of 3s, okay? And then amazingly, what's left over is the dead center of Father. Done, okay? So we know that Father has to take the glory for everything. Trachea is gorgeous for Christ, but say the trachea. I mean, you can see, even in the word trachea, you can see so many of the letters, F-A-T-H-E-R. Like, it's basically spelling Father. Oh, that's so perfect. There's so much glory to, amazing. Okay. So, say the trachea, because there's only one of them. Now you get the Father screaming at you from the dead center. Okay. So, the trachea. Father, center. And then what's amazing is the bookends, T-H-E-A, equals letter for letter, the dead center of Father. So when you say the trachea, that is glaringly, overwhelmingly, obviously screaming out Father, Father, in perfect symmetry. Father at the center, Father at the bookends. Father, Father in the trachea, okay? I am the first human in history to see these things, okay? The trachea, Father, Father, okay? So these letters in the dead center match Father. The F replaces the C by 3 points. And then T-H-E-A equals the dead center of Father, glaring, paralleling Father, okay? So you have to solve what is on the lips of men. Okay, what is being spoken day and night? What God has ordained to be on the lips of men, because God is speaking through his children. Say, oh, the trachea, the trachea, the trachea. Okay. Now, if you want to be really simple about giving Father glory, he didn't create just one trachea, he created millions of tracheas, and now you get the famous word star in the bookends of tracheas. That is irresistible. Always pluralize things. It's the simplest way to see the glory of the Father. The simplest way is add an S and see the glory of the Father. It always happens. So tracheas, now you have star perfectly on the bookends, which equals Father. Okay. Amazing. Okay. All right. So, okay. So the carina. What is the carina? Is that the dividing point before the bronchi? The ridge at the base of the trachea. The trachea is also called the windpipe. You can piece that sucker apart. The windpipe starts with the I am. Oh, come on. Yeah, the carina is the point where the trachea splits into the two branches, as far as I can tell. Okay. Lots to solve here. Bronchi equals Jehovah, and you can easily get the triple 23 from bronchi. I believe that is the case. Yeah, easily you can get the 3 23s from bronchi. HO 23 and I 23, BRC 23. Bronchi equals Jehovah equals triple I am. Amazing. And then when you say main bronchi, we know the word main goes to Father. It ends in another I am. It starts with I am, letter for letter. But overall, so now when you say main bronchi, that's equals Father plus Son. That is so smoking hot. Father gets the glory for the main bronchi. Like, oh baby. People talk about the lobes of the lung. So lobe goes to Father. Lobe equals center Father. The great 34. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. That's what's staring you in the face with the word lobe. Like your ear lobe. Your ear lobe is your ear one. And ear lobe equals Father. Okay? Lobe equals 34. It needs 24 points. Well, the word ear equals 24. So ear lobe equals Father. Just like big toe equals Father. Okay? Thumb parallels Father. So earlobe equals Father. The top is called helix equals Father. Helix, Father, earlobe, Father. Okay. So now with that confidence, we look at the lobes of the lung. Well, lobe equals 1, the center of Father. So the carina of trachea is essentially the point of division. What's amazing about that is carina goes to Father perfectly as a word. And, alright, we suspected that. Okay. And if you say the carina, that's even better. Beautiful. Wow, another big gem. This is so cool. So the carina, just like the bregma. Remember, the bregma is the top, is the point where the occipital bones and the parietal, the frontal bone, excuse me, meets with the two parietal bones. It's more or less the very top, tip top of your skull is called the bregma, also known as the vertex. Father 58 is at the dead center of the bregma. That is exactly what I'm seeing. Father is at the dead center of the carina. Okay? And I believe that means crown. We'll find out where that word came from, but this here, the top of that center point right there, it's like a bullseye on your lungs. Oh, it just had a crash, no problem. Happens all the time because I have so many windows open and I'm uploading video and it's accessing like different hard drives, and apparently Windows wasn't good enough for this project. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that's huge. The carina has Father at the dead center. That's a big gem, just because the bregma has the same thing and a host of other anatomy words. So what is the carina? As far as I know, it's... I have to wait till the computer boots up again. Brought to you by cocoa powder. Breakfast, this is the great stuff for students and anyone that wants to have a sharp mind and feel good all day long. Cocoa powder with hot water. Okay. Cocoa parallels focus. Theobromine, food of the gods. Okay. Cacao, food of the gods. God is sovereign over those names. But you want pure cocoa. The original word chocolate, simply, the chocolate was originally just cocoa with water. Like back in the days of the Mayans, and they had chocolate. There was no sugar added. It was just pure cocoa with water. Okay. No sugar added. So let's get this back open here. So we were just realizing we were solving the respiratory system piece by piece, and we just had a great eureka that Father is at the dead center of the carina. The carina. So the carina is a ridge of cartilage in the trachea that occurs between the division of the two main bronchi. It is essentially the apex where the fork in the road happens between your trachea and your two lungs. Plain and simple. That is so cool. You gotta see Father's glory in all of this. Okay, so huge. The carina. Just like the bregma on top of your head has Father 58 at the dead center. That is a huge find, as all of these are, which is why I'm recording these long videos. Okay, so the carina equals the bregma, using the same number of letters. Father at the dead center of the carina and the bregma. This is huge because the carina is the top. It is the tip. It is the first branch. We know that the lungs is all about branching. Like the branching gets so micro, it gets so tiny, like millions of branches. Like the big bronchi branch into all the tiny little capillaries, tinier and tinier and tinier. Well, God the Father takes the glory for the first of everything. What is the first branch in the lungs called? The carina, which has Father at the dead center, because Father is on top, Father is first, Father is greatest, Father is best, Father is foremost, Father takes the glory for everything. Woo, that felt good to preach. Okay, so there you go. That is smoking hot. So the top of your skull, the meeting point of the frontal bone and the two parietal bones is called the bregma. Okay? The bregma equals the carina has Father at the dead center. It's Father plus 21, the great 79. And then you can slow down and compare those letters. Say, well, how did he do that? Okay, H-E-R is sitting right there. Okay, G equals the F-A, and the rest adds to the T. Okay. Done. Done. We just saw Father perfectly in the bregma, just like the carina. So, in anatomy, the carina is a ridge. Now the word ridge goes to Father as well. You have to recognize that what's on top. Ridge, apex, Father, summit. Or no, summit, excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a lot. Okay. A ridge of cartilage in the trachea that occurs between the division of the two main bronchi. Okay. Now we looked at bronchus the other day. Uh, This is, and then it just keeps branching and branching and branching into more bronchi. Now the word branch goes to Father, and then bronchi was smoking hot. Bronchi equals Jehovah, equals triple 23, triple I am. Just, okay? So further divisions of the segmental bronchi are known as fourth order, fifth order, sixth order segmental bronchi. So that word bronchi equals Jehovah, which equals collagen, by the way. Much in the body is made of collagen, including like hair and skin and all this stuff. Collagen equals Jehovah, triple I am. Are grouped together as subsegmental bronchi. The bronchi, when too narrow to be supported by cartilage, are known as bronchioles. So that's like the tiny guys. No gas exchange takes place in the bronchi. So the bronchiole is where the rubber meets the road. That's the end of the line. The bronchiolae are the passageways by which air passes through the nose. Wait a second. To the alveoli are the air sacs of the lungs, and that has love at the center. There's a lot of names of God in that. Alveoli parallels Father. The bronchioles divide into smaller bronchioles. But it all begins with the carina, which is Father, the center. Okay, the first branch. And then, of course, the letters branch goes to Father, the branch. Oh, the branch equals the bregma, equals the carina. This just keeps getting higher and higher. The branch equals the carina. Branch equals carina. Need I say more? Yes, I do, because there's so much more to say. Wow. And Father gets the bookends of the branch. You can pop off, this is so cool. Like, you have to pop off 21 to hit the 58. Take the word bra at the dead center of the branch. Father in 6 letters. Shoom. Just like 6 letters at the center of the carina. Okay. Wow. Amazing. The branch equals the carina equals the bregma, Father plus 21. Okay, so we're solving the major parts of you and your breathing apparatus for the glory of God, and it's very worth doing. Okay, so it's called proper education. In case you haven't noticed, everyone who's ever been to Harvard, Yale, have 4 PhDs, needs to know this information, and it's all a surprise package from God, okay? That God has been sovereign over the spellings of all the names of everything named in human anatomy and all science, and now we're just going around and seeing what His perfect names and all of them, okay? So get ready for the ultimate education. It's happening right now. So, the carina, the bregma, that is so cool, that the carina is the first branch, and then from there it just gets silly. It just branches. That's the first branch, then it branches again, then it branches again, and then it branches tons of times until they are micro thin and the gas exchange happens at the tips. But the carina equals the branch. Why? Because Father is on top. Father is the first branch in your lungs. Oh man, I just gotta milk this one. So the branch goes to Father, the first branch keeps the party going, and when I say flawless, like I'm like +2s exceed +1s in the branch and the first branch, and the first branch equals Jesus Christ, amazingly. That's another gem, but I can't resist it. When I see a 151, I have to parse it into Jesus and Christ, just to satisfy my curiosity. So the first branch equals Jesus Christ. Let's just see if we get some symmetrical hits on Jesus in Christ in the first branch. Yes, there are exactly 3 ways to split it into 2 teams of symmetry. The first branch equals Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, well, first plus a B equals Jesus. Perfect. And then the rest equals Christ. The ranch. Have you spent some time on the ranch? Well, the ranch equals Christ. And then first plus a B equals Jesus. So the first branch equals Jesus Christ. You gotta love it. You gotta love the efficiency of words, the perfection of it all. The first branch equals Jesus Christ. And he is. Like when you think about the church and all the believers and the children of God, okay, Jesus is the first branch, okay. The first branch equals Jesus Christ. You gotta write this stuff down. First branch equals Jesus Christ. Okay. But all of these terms mathematically parallel Father, the name above all names. Okay. The carina of the trachea. That is the new favorite word for Father. Okay. The carina. The first branch. Other words that parallel Father that come to mind. Split. The first split. Yeah. In fact, yeah, split. Okay. The split. Okay, that's nice. Just goes 13 points higher. The split. The branch. Cool. Okay, so the carina. Big gem. Trachea we did. Bronchi was glaring. Okay, I love solving the extremities because Father usually takes the glory for the extremities. So we solve the initial thing. Now go to the alveoli and so it all ends in the so you have the pulmonary vein, and then it gets to the alveoli, then the capillary beds, and the alveolar sacs. You're like, what is the term for the final stop of oxygen flow? It's amazing how everything is a tree. Everything is a tree that branches and multiplies. Okay, so the gas exchange happens in the alveoli. So alveoli go to Father. And there's love, letter for letter. Alveoli. Alveoli. Father plus 18, beautiful. You can easily find Father and alveoli. It's the Father at the front of violins. Viol and violet, okay? Viol equals Father, and then you get the bonus 18. So when you say the alveoli, you now have said the split, which equals great Father. The alveoli equals great Father. It even starts with heat, which is dead center of Father. And then grab your IO, or your two L's. There's love. That's amazing. The alveoli starts with heat, dead center of Father, gets love, letter for letter. Good night. Okay, I've seen it. It's pretty obvious. Man, it makes me, I gotta solve carbon dioxide in more detail. I know the Father gets the last word. Carbon is flawless for Christ. Dioxide goes to Father. Put the two together, it's a Christ-Father combo. Always check the center of these things. Holy Father. Yeah, there's a lot of... And the endings. Okay. I would quickly just find all instances of Father in carbon dioxide. I'm pretty sure I've done this before. Oh yeah, carbon plus an E. Okay. Alveolus equals the great I am. And you can easily split that, I can see it. Bronchial, the Lord anatomy. So a typical pair of human lungs contain about 700 million alveoli. And alveoli parallels Father. It's got love right there in the center. Alveoli. but you must say the alveoli, and now you get great Father. The alveoli. Okay, that's where the end of the line is. Producing 70 meters squared of surface area. Amazing. Each alveolus, which equals the great I am, is wrapped. So the alveolus equals the Messiah, equals Jesus, Amen, equals the great I am. Okay? And you can split alveolus into those components, in fact. Yeah, I see the. It's very easy. It's several ways. Oh, that's cool. Love, letter for letter, is at the dead center of alveolus. And then push out. Now you have the love, which equals truth, which equals Father plus half a Father. And then push out, and you get the great I am. So alveolus, alveolus. Love is at the dead center, letter for letter. This is where oxygen, life is at the center of oxygen. Love is at the center of alveolus. And then truth is just amazing. And then alveolus equals the great I am. Okay. Each alveolus is wrapped in a fine mesh of capillaries covering about 70% of its area. An adult alveolus has an average diameter of 200 micrometers. Micro equals Father, meter goes to Father. Micro equals Father, meter is Father plus 3. And so when you say micrometers, that's a Father, Father, Father triple. Micro, meter, S. Father, Father, Father triple. In micrometers. It adds perfectly to sixfold I am, a double of Jehovah, micrometers, with an increase in diameter during inhalation. And we know that inhalation parallels Father and ends in Father. So the alveoli, that's a glaring Father gem. And we know that capillary goes to Father. So the alveoli are the parts of the lungs and the alveoli are the smallest units in the respiratory tract. Respiratory starts with Father, ends in Father, has Son in between. There you go. If you want to talk about the respiratory system, you've just said Father, Son, Father. In order. Remember, respiration was Father, center, Father, Father, in order. Respiratory is Father, Son, Father, in order. I'm here to take the human race higher because we've been wallowing in the mire of garbage, crappy thinking about who God is or isn't. Respiratory equals Father, Son, Father. So when you say the respiratory system, you've just said the Father, Son, Father system. That is exactly what you've said. To review the words we've written down thus far, respiratory equals Father, Son, Father. The respiratory system was created by Father, Son, Father, God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son. So here's other words that we've written down at this point with Father at the center of the Queen of the Bregma, just as a review of what we've written, okay, and what we have solved, okay. Diaphragm equals power equals glory, letter for letter. So these are the words that we've analyzed and solved thus far for the personal names of God, okay, and it's very glaring and very obvious. And you just have to accept the fact that God is in control and you ain't. You ain't. God is in control. God owns all the words. Thank God. Okay. All right. So the alveoli. Ay, ay, ay. So much. Okay. Check out the alveolar sacs. Okay. The word sac, S-A-C, is I am. So, okay, there's a lot to see there. Alright. Larynx, trachea, pulmonary artery. We've hit a lot of these. Alveolar duct, alveoli, right. Okay, we've solved a lot of the terms now. In the respiratory system, the main guys. Let's back it up a little more. Your sinuses. Yes, sir. So we know sinus goes to father, and so does sinuses. It's all those S's. Oh my gosh, sinuses equals father plus son. Hey, there it is again. Sinuses, father plus son. That's glaring, because sinus is father plus 24 equals the Lord, and then sinus is adds another 24 to make it father plus son. Ay, ay, ay. Ah, feel the air. Oh man, then capillary beds will be flawless for father. Okay, this is so the word capillary goes to father. Beds divides by 3. This is so cool. Now when you say the capillary beds, that completes the glory pile perfectly, because now count your plus 2s. T, H, E, E, B. That's 5 plus... Oh yeah, and then you have 6 plus 1 is overall offset of father. Okay. The capillary beds parallels father. Capillary beds is Father is Jehovah Father. Amazing. So I'm going to do diligence and find 58 in capillary beds. Yeah, there's some symmetrical ways. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we solve the alveoli, the capillary bed. See how Father has the start and end of this story really well wrapped up. Tissue. Oh, tissue. Man. Now you can preach on tissue. Tissue is like the word truth. Father, half father. T-I is half a father, and then S-S-U-E is father plus 6. Okay. It's very glaring because the SE is the bookends of father, the SU is the parallels the center of father plus the bonus 6. Okay. Tissue, half father, and then like father plus 6 on the end. So it reminds me of the word toilet, tissue. Okay, they both divide by 3, and so now you can easily see the father, half a father in the word toilet, T-I, your half a father, and then the rest parallels an entire father. In fact, it's father minus 6. So toilet tissue, this is so cool. Now I've just solved all the world's toilet tissue. It's amazing how random you just get solves from all over the place. There you go. So now toilet tissue equals triple father. I know for a fact that I am the first human being in history to understand and preach that toilet tissue equals triple father. Father, father, father. And we walked through that in detail, how we pieced that apart from the beginning of the puzzle pieces we have. Remember, truth equals father, half a father. And you can split it into 5829, father, half a father. Well, we saw that coming at us in the word tissue. It starts with TI, 29, half a father. And then the SSUE parallels father, because SE equals the bookends of father. SU slots into the center of father. The U equals the AT. The S parallels the HE, being father plus 6. Aha. Tissue, okay, is father, half a father, plus 6. Toilet, okay, pop off the TI. There's your half father again. It's a very famous, obvious 29 because T is 20, I is 9. You say the number 29 in TI. So that pop off your half a father, the TI, and now you're left with OLET. which parallels Father in total. T equals T in Father, E equals E, and then the rest parallels the rest, and your 3's come at you. But all that to say, that is so perfect, okay? Because tissue equals Father, half Father, plus 6. And of course, toilet was the opposite. So, what's the obvious conclusion? Well, the tissue is clearly higher than the toilet. The tissue is on top of the toilet. The tissue is above. And so that's why tissue has the greater value than toilet. But clearly, you wouldn't be a very happy camper if you didn't have a toilet today, I'm pretty sure. Or if there weren't toilets everywhere in the universe for you to use. I'm pretty sure you'd be a pretty unhappy baby, whether you're 40 years old or 3 years old. If God took out all the toilets and all the toilet tissue right now, you'd be crying your pants off. So toilet tissue equals Father, Father, Father. So tissue is Father, half a Father, plus 6, and we pieced it apart. Toilet is Father, half a Father, minus 6, and we pieced it apart. Toilet tissue is perfectly Father, Father, Father. Done. And you must say toilet tissue. It is not toilet paper. That is less glorious than toilet tissue. You need to call it what it is. It's toilet tissue. That's how the British call it. Toilet tissue. It's toilet tissue. It's not toilet paper. Paper is like, when someone says the word paper, I think of something scratchy, you know. But tissue is soft, okay? Even the word tissue parallels soft. And we've walked through that glory before. But there you go. Toilet tissue equals Father, Father, Father. You gotta solve the obvious everyday things, you know. Otherwise, people aren't thankful enough. Toilet tissue is triple Father. Okay, now I can't resist just throwing the letters toilet tissue into the house. And so I'm here to present to you who you are to thank and worship and talk about all day and all night if you want the greatest life of all time. You need to say Father all day and all night. Oh, love is at the dead center of toilet tissue. It's irresistible because toilet is 6 letters, tissue is 6 letters, and Father is 6 letters. And the offsets were, you know, tissue was Father, half a Father, plus 6, and toilet was half a Father, minus 6. You know, love is at the dead center of toilet tissue. I mean, this is like appreciation 101. If you can't appreciate your toilet tissue, you'll never appreciate anything else. Oh boy, we take it people deep here, and it needs to happen because we have a very interesting generation. So toilet tissue equals triple Father. Now let's find all instances of 58 and 29 in that. There's a lot, but you know, I was happy with the manual work that we did. Pop off the 2 TIs. There was your Father. I'm already satisfied with that. And that's crazy how you had love at the center. There, see, that was satisfying. Toilet tissue equals triple Father. And I took you deep, and we walked through it and how glaring it was, how obvious it was. So thank Father for your... There's a lot of love in those sets of letters. I always knew that. Toilet was love plus half 11. Alright. Yeah, it's very easy to find there's God, 21, 21. There's Son. Okay, so we've hit this sucker really good. Okay, so toilet tissue equals triple Father. There you go. Just so you can get this sucker on camera. So all this came about when we were solving the capillary beds, and we got into the word tissue of it from anatomy, and then we had this revelation on toilet tissue being this perfect Father design. And so it's written on camera. There, this equation is just as famous as E equals MC squared. Stare at that. Toilet tissue equals triple Father. There it is. And there's the breakdown. There's the flawless breakdown right there. You know, in many households, it is the father that pays for the toilet tissue. Not always, but let's not kid ourselves. It's God the Father. We're talking about God here, okay? God the Father created male and female. Okay, perfectly equal in value and in worth and in glory. But not equal in authority. Okay, God ordained that the man would be the leader. Okay. Okay, so toilet tissue, triple father. All right, talking about God here. Okay, that was awesome. Alveoli, atrium, capillary beds. So yeah, we just came off of the phrase connective tissue, and I instantly saw the father, half a father in the word tissue. Instantly, I could see that. The tissue, and we're talking about body tissue. Remember, the word artery is father, half a father. The word tissue is screaming out father, half a father. Very, very obvious. And then so you talk about connective tissue. Well, of course you do. You'll see more names of God in there. Oh yeah, connect equals God, Son equals Jesus. There's a lot of cool stuff. Okay, alveolar sacs. Lot to preach in there. Alveolar duct. Mucus glands. Okay, so we satisfied a lot there. We went deep. I mean, lung equals love, but then when you say lungs, that goes to father, left lungs. Okay, we've hit a lot of the biggest words. Oh yeah, the fissures in the lung. Fissure, father. Middle lobe, inferior lobe. So the lung is divided by fissures into lobes. Fissure, so the father gets the last word. Lobe goes to father, fissure goes to father. Lobe is father minus 24, fissure is father plus 39. Horizontal, fissure. Middle lobe, inferior lobe, superior lobe. So, I love it. So the highest word that parallels father is superior. So superior lobe is a father, father, double. We're talking about your lungs here. Let's see the accuracy. So the word superior is father plus 63. The word lobe is father minus 24. Cool. When we talk about superior lobes, that's like a father, 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 triple. Okay, that's cool. So we solve the lobes, the fissures, diaphragm, tarsimpathic, superior, inferior, and middle. It's so cool. Like the word superior and inferior both parallel father, just like anterior, but superior is mathematically higher. Like do the math. So superior is father plus 63, right? Inferior is father plus 36. Wow, same digits. See, you got to see this. This is so cool. Like father always takes the glory for the extremities of everything. Even the word bottom is flawless for father. But check out this equation for your own satisfaction. There it is. The writing is on YouTube, on the wall. Superior equals father plus 63. Inferior is father plus 36. Is that not mathematically gorgeous? Same digits, just switched. Quite obviously, 63 is greater than 36. That which is superior is above and greater that which is inferior. But you see how father takes both of these words for himself mathematically. Okay, in offsets of threes for the Trinity, as I've been saying. And you can easily find a double father in superior. You just need to pop 5 points off that 63. So pop off the E. That's the only way. SUR equals father number 1, and PRIO equals father number 2. Okay, or yeah, no, that's how you must do it. So you can get a double father in superior. Okay, so there you go. So superior is greater than inferior, but you see how both words go to father. You can find father and inferior, pop off the double R. Okay, pop off 36 points. Okay, but you see how the superior is above the inferior, and then the anterior is that which is in front. Okay, father owns that word as well. Anterior. Okay, that is father plus 42. So that actually fits right in here. That actually fits right in here. Okay, anterior, Father plus 42. But superior is on top. Okay, so superior is the superior word for Father, but Father takes the glory for all of them. He takes the glory for that which is, we say, up front and center. The word front goes to Father, the word anterior goes to Father. Okay, but superior. You can feel it on your lips. Superior. God the Father is superior. He is superb. He owns. He gets every superlative that there is. You know, every superlative. There's superb. There's Father plus. Oh yeah, superb equals I am Father, and you can make that split easily. Superb equals I am Father, the famous PRES Father, or SUR, very famous 58s, and then the rest is I am. So superb is I am Father. Superlative. The word super goes to Father. Just SUR, it's Father plus 21. Okay, just done. Just super, super, super. You can say super all day and Father's happy, just like. So superlative just adds threes to the party. Just beautiful threes. Lative equals Jehovah, triple 23, triple the ninth prime. Superlative, Father plus 9. Superlative, Father. Okay. So I took you high there, as we always do.